Me too.
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that.
Amen.
Thank you, brother.
No problem.
Anybody watch the what's the guy's name? De La Hoya and Mayweather fight last night? Anybody at all? Anybody here? Anybody care? Okay.
Is there a fight?
Good, I'll tell you. I can tell you anything I want then. Oscar De La Hoya, who I never have understood why anybody liked him, never liked him, never did. Fighting Floyd Mayweather. Oscar De La Hoya is, of course, the Golden Boy, and that's the name of his company and everything. It's supposed to be, you know, and he said, well, I've worked harder for this fight than ever before, and I'm going to show him that I'm not just some, you know, easy knockout or anything. And Floyd Mayweather, the pound for pound, the greatest boxer right now that there is. And they fought last night. It went to full 12 rounds. It was a very close fight, split decision. Mayweather won. But when Mayweather won, he didn't jump around, he didn't run around. Because why? He expected to win. He went in knowing, you know what, I'm supposed to win this, and I should win this. And so when it was close, I don't think he was very happy, even though he knew it was close. On the other hand, there was a little horse race yesterday. I don't know if you watched that. And that's where you found out that happiness was a matter of perspective. Do we have this? Do you have the picture? Okay, here's the picture from yesterday. A happy perspective. This jockey in the middle, did you get to see the interviews with him?
Yeah.
I quote him, "This is the most happiest day of my life." He's Cajun, and he actually, I mean, he's real Cajun. And he said, this is the most happiest day of my life. I wish my mom and daddy were here. I wish all these things. And the reason he was so happy, I mean, it was unlike anything I'd ever seen in a horse race. He was up on a horse, he was waving, taking his hat off, waving. He was happier than anybody could be because he went into this horse race knowing that everybody said he shouldn't be there. There were other jockeys who were calling the owner of the horse saying, don't let him ride that thing, you're wasting your horse. But he'd ridden the horse, and he won on the horse, and he'd ridden the track, and he knew the track. And at 40 years old, he's been doing this for 20 years. He thought he might never have another chance. And nobody gave him an opportunity until now. And he took to make the most of it. And it was the happiest day of his life. Something he thought would never happen. And why was he so happy? Because he thought it just couldn't be that way. And yet it became that way. First century philosopher Epictetus, if I get this correct, said, men are disturbed, and I got this from another author, so I'll read the whole thing to you. Men are disturbed not by events which happen, but rather by the opinion they have of these events. It's pretty deep thinking. Another translation of it says, men are disturbed not by things, but by principles and notions which they form concerning things. And what this means that if it isn't what happens to you that upsets you, it's the way you look at it. For example, if you're standing in line to buy movie tickets, somebody runs into you from behind, you're probably going to feel angry and annoyed, and you're going to turn around to see who hit you. But when you turn around, what if you discover that the person who ran into you is blind or old, and they stumbled? Then what happens to your anger? Well, usually your anger goes away. The difference is now you're thinking differently about the situation than you were before you turned around. You were angry when you were thinking something like, what in the world's wrong with this guy? Why did somebody run into me? Why didn't they look where they're going? When you turn around, you see the whole situation. Now you're thinking, oh, the poor guy. He couldn't help it. Another way of putting this is to say that our feelings are based on our thought processes and our attitudes rather than merely on the events around us. This explains why some people, listen carefully, why some people can handle difficult situations pretty well. They have a philosophy or a set of beliefs or a way of thinking about the events of their lives which keeps them happy, courageous, and determined instead of nervous, angry, ashamed, or depressed. You know, I read that, and this wasn't from any Christian author. This is a psychologist, and I was thinking, wow, that's pretty simple terms. Because, you know what my wife says about me? I'm a mad person all the time. Correct, honey? I'm mad all the time about something. You know why? I'm the only person that knows how to drive. I'm the only person that knows how to put something together. I'm the only person that knows how things should be packed. I'm the only person who knows a lot of things. So I get mad all the time. And what it really is I'm not mad at the things that happen. I'm mad because my point of view is skewed. And I wanted this to be a sermon. I want the sermon about, you know what? I want us to be happy. And I'm not one of those people who preaches that God wants you to be healthy and happy and wealthy and all. No, I don't think that necessarily. But I don't think God wants you to be miserable. And I think everybody could be happier. Although probably not as happy as we're going to be. Because Max Lucado even said, we're not happy here on earth. We're not happy because we're not supposed to be happy here. We're like foreigners or strangers in this world, as it says in 1 Peter 2:11. And you will never be completely happy on earth simply because you were not made for earth. Oh, you'll have moments of joy. You'll have glimpses of light. You will know moments or even days of peace. But they will not compare to the happiness that lies ahead. Now, you're going to find all kinds of things in your life that you think are going to make you happy. And I mean important things. I'm not talking about necessarily just money or fame or power, those kind of things. You know, some people go through thinking, you know what? If I just get married someday, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to find the right person and I'm going to get married. And some people think, oh, when I have kids someday, I'm going to be so happy. And believe me, you're wrong about that. I'm going to be so happy when I have kids, or you know, and then you get to me, even though I went through the kids thing, I'm thinking, okay, when I have grandchildren, that's going to be great. And I think that will be better. I really do. I think because you get to do a lot of things that you don't get away with kids. But you think all these different things that are going to make you happy. And ultimately, you find out that they never really make you as happy as you thought. They never really completely satisfy you. But think about someday being in the presence of God, being in the safety of His shelter, in His arms, under His wings, forever. Now, are you looking forward to that? Anybody looking forward to that time? All right. Well, but sadly, I'm not telling you you should go for that right now, okay? No, don't get me wrong there. We're looking forward to that, but what about right now? What can you do right now to make your life a little happier? Well, we're going to go through just about 3 little things, and it really doesn't have anything to do with the stuff around you. It doesn't have anything to do with changing the way, the things around you, changing the things that you have, or getting more things. It really has to do with changing you. Because you'll find out that real happiness, I think you already knew this, doesn't come from other people, doesn't come from the things around you. It only comes from inside. So we're going to look on what things we have to do to find greater happiness in the world. Focus on grace, not goodness. Focus on God's work, not our worth. And focus on the Spirit, not on the flesh. Now all those things seem pretty churchy, and it seems like that'd be obvious, right? Well, of course we're going to focus on grace because we're Christians. Of course we're going to focus on God's work because we know that He did it all. And of course we're going to focus on the Spirit because we know that we are spiritual beings. And we say all these things, but I don't think we really get the word focus right. Because sometimes we lose focus on the things that matter. First thing, focus on grace, not goodness. Ephesians 2:8-9 says, "It is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this not for yourselves, but it is a gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." Do you believe that? Do you believe you have been saved by the grace of God, not by the things you've done? Yes. Absolutely. You all heard that old joke, right? The guy went to heaven, and he's there at the pearly gates, and Peter says, you know, here's how it works. You need 100 points to get in. You got to tell me all the things you've done. We're going to add up the points and see how it goes. You get to 100 points, and you get in. Man